Hey, Stroke Lines, and in this video today, I'm actually not going to be teaching automation per se. I want to keep pushing, keep nudging all you guys and myself to keep automating and keep learning better ways to do things. So I've been reading several books, and the topic came up about companies should learn more about capabilities. They should develop their capabilities, not tools. And I realized, like, for me, it explained a lot of my whole mindset for years is it's for me, your boss needs things now, right? Your company will pay to get stuff done now. And very rarely, especially the overall company, let alone your boss, will allow you to take time to invest in yourself to work smarter and not harder, right? They need results right away. They don't want to hear, well, I'm learning how to do X, Y, and Z a little bit a different way. It's going to slow production by 20, but it's going to stop me from doing stuff right away. But in the long run, I'll work. Like the times they'll be like, no, we need this just to get the work done, right? And if you keep that mentality, you think that's okay. Well, at least I have a job, and they're going to see that I'm working hard and that I'll keep going. That's fine. Count on getting minuscule raises, count on getting, cost of living adjustment raises that just kind of keep you where you are, very little advancements, right? What you need to do is to be able to justify, going to them and asking for a bigger raise because suddenly you have these better skills or you can do things differently. So, what my philosophy has always been is to go ahead and put the cart before the horse. I'm going to go out and if they're not going to let me learn and pay me to learn, then I'm going to come in early, or I'm going to work at home late at night and whatever, and invest in myself so I will become more efficient, even if it's for my company, right? By the way, another great tip, don't think of yourself as working for that company. Think of yourself as self-employed, right? Your biggest client happens to be the person paying your salary, but you know what? They can fire you in a heartbeat, and you'll be out on your butt trying to find something else. So the more you think about that you work for yourself and that you're rewarding yourself, you're investing in yourself. Don't think I'm going to find a way to do stuff for work even though they're not paying me and I'm going to do this and that. Look, you know what? It's for yourself. Invest in yourself. So I've always been up for that, and I've always done that. And then I often get, like, actually one company, it was great. I started in 6 months, I got a 10% raise, and then the next 6 months I got another 10% raise. Another company, because of the automation I was doing, I was able to get I got an offer from another company at 30% higher than what I was getting paid, and my company matched. I mean, you can get really big raises, right? But the thing is, you have to justify it. You have to give them an argument and show them that you're worth it. And a lot of the stuff I had done is because I was learning, right? Another big one is, hey, you know what? RPA, robotics process automation, everything, it's coming, right? I mean, think about it in the past, like, let's go back before the Industrial Revolution, right? Suddenly machines came in right in the Industrial Revolution and started doing things much more optimized using robotics, using machines to make people, more efficient. Basically, often it would remove people, but there always had to be more people there, right? There had to be some people there, and the productivity overall went up per person, right? Of course, some people were out in a job, but those that actually learned how to handle the machines, they kept jobs. And not only that, they actually got paid more, right? Because it was a high skill instead of doing the mundane stuff. It's no different in today, right? We had this big wave where we were going up and up and up, and then computers took off, and sure, we had a big rise in that because we're more efficient, we're using the internet, this and that. And then we've kind of plateaued. We're still way up there in efficiency, especially here in the US, right? We use computers, but when I walk into an average corporate environment, I look at people using computers, and it's almost like they've never actually been trained how to use a computer, at least not how to use it wisely. Some of the stuff I see people do, it's insane to me. Again, we all start somewhere, right? But I kept trying to find better and more efficient ways, which is one of the reasons why I'm so efficient on a computer. It's not because I'm some brilliant scientist guy, right? I had to learn this stuff, and I kicked and scratched and found ways to do it. I didn't just sit back and hope someone teaches me, right? So again, take the initiative, get out there, do it. I changed my webcam a little bit this way. I want to show you. This is my reading stack of like what I'm working on, what I'm reading, right? I get through a little bit over around a book a week, maybe a little bit more than that, somewhere in there. It just depends how much I focus. But it seems to keep growing instead of shrinking. And I'm not doing that because someone's paying me. I'm doing it because I'm investing in myself. And so you can do it through so many different ways. But for me, book reading is a great way, depending on your topic nature, right? I'm also learning a lot of new stuff in scripting. And so my challenge to you is just to, what are you going to learn this week? Make sure, do you have a schedule? Do you have it in your schedule that like either every day or once a week or something that you learn something new, right? If you don't, block your calendar, do something, make it in there. Make sure you're doing something on a regular basis to improve your skill set. There's a great video. I think it's number 7 and something of Life Matters. I forget the author, but it's to sharpen the saw, and it's a great story. But basically, there's a guy out in the forest cutting a tree down, and this other guy walks up to him, and the other guy looks really tired, and he's working, he's trying to cut down the tree. And the first guy says, "Hey, what are you doing?" The guy says, "Well, I got to get these trees cut down. I'm doing the stuff." And the guy says, "Well, have you sharpened your saw?" And the guy's like, "I'm too busy for that, right? I got to get these trees cut down. I can't stop to sharpen. I got to cut them down." And he's like, if you actually take a few minutes to sharpen your saw, your wood cutting will go that much faster, right? And so the moral is, take time to step back, to sharpen your saw, to invest in yourself, to work smarter, not harder. It'll pay off in the long run. Don't think short term, think long run, right? It's one of the beautiful things is, especially with scripting, it's even amplified even more, right? The more time you put up front, the more you get to leverage it later, and you're even that much more efficient. Yeah, you take a little dip in efficiency because you didn't necessarily get something done within the next 10 minutes or 3 hours, but over the long run, you can be much more productive. Like, one of my jobs I had, I started off, like I said, I didn't know anything about object-oriented coding and automation. And I would spend, at the beginning, I just did the extra time myself, right? I was spending a couple hours a day trying to learn how to do the stuff. And then over time, I was able to get so much of my job automated. At the end, when I left, I had like 30% of my day, right, where I could use to learn more stuff, because I had automated so much of my job, and I still was more productive than anybody else, right? I got stuff done faster and more things that no one else could do, and it was all because I had kept investing in myself and automating more and more of my job and my skill set, which it made it that much quicker and easier. The next thing I had to do, and it was just, it's amazing what you can do once you start really investing in yourself, and especially like in scripting. And AutoHotkey is great. There's other scripting languages fine too. But find a way to work smarter, not harder. Even just creating stupid buttons, to your programs, like in Excel. Customize that ribbon. Customize the buttons that are available. Stop going and hunting and finding a button. I mean, it's stupid things like that you're like, wow, I can work so much faster and get rid of the mundane, where I can focus on the more important stuff. Or you just take that time that you saved and start investing in yourself and keep learning, because that book I mentioned, it calls it an upward spiral. So you find, when you become more productive, and then it's basically like it's what is that when you invest and it keeps getting bigger, compound interest, right? It works the same way. Like the more you actually teach yourself to be more efficient, the more time you'll have saved, which actually allows you to even teach yourself more tips and tricks to be more efficient, and it just spirals to the point where now I can go to a website, I can scrape it usually in minutes, or even just setting up a basic script to do something, it can take minutes instead of hours, or half a day for something basic. But again, you got to take the time to practice and keep learning, and just don't stop. So my challenge to you is, get something on your schedule, keep it regular, don't give up. We all hit our head against the wall on some things for a while. It's fine, power through it. The tenacity, I forget the exact quote from some, but it was, tenacity is one of the most important things. And I don't give myself a lot of compliments in a lot of ways, but I'll say this: I've never failed at anything I've put my mind to. I won't. It's not in my vocabulary is to say I can't do it. Actually, when someone says something can't be done, that actually puts me more in the mind of like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to prove them wrong, right? That's my mentality and attitude. I just don't give up. And, when you have confidence in yourself and you start building these things and you have success, keep it going. It's much easier to have that kind of attitude. So anyway, get something on your schedule. If you don't already, plan it, keep to it. You'll get there, and keep automating. Cheers.